we are here at what might be the most low-stakes competition of all time, the GEEK Games.
That's right, extremely low. We have 5 competitions, 2 teams. Whoever wins at the end of the day will take home the GEEK Gold.
Before we get these GEEK Games started, let's meet our teams.
For Team Clockwork Orange, from the ScreenJunkies show, Hal Rudnick. For Movie Fights, Andy Signore. From Schmoes Know, Mark Ellis. And with Brizzy voices, it's Brizzy.
And for Team Deepest Bluest, from Escapist and Superfan Builds, Trisha Hirschberger. Head writer of Honest Trailers, Spencer Gilbert. From Movie Fights, Dan Murrell. And from the internet, it's Joe Beretta.
Now let's send it down to the host of the ScreenJunkies show and a competitor today, Hal Rudnick, to get these games officially underway.
What's going on, guys? Hal Rudnick here for the first ever GEEK Games! You know, we spend so much time inside watching movies, talking about movies, arguing about movies, and stuffing our faces with soda and popcorn that it's a good idea to find a little balance in what we eat and what we drink and what we do. That's why we've teamed up with Mixify to come out to this field for some good old-fashioned physical competition. So without further ado, let's kick off the first ever GEEK Games!
First up for our teams is the Space Jam Challenge. 2 players from each team will compete to score as many baskets as possible in the time allotted. But it's never that easy on the GEEK Games. Each player will also be dressed up in a mascot costume.
Playing for the blue team are Spencer Gilbert and Joe Beretta. And for the orange team, Hal Rudnick and Mark Ellis. Do these teams believe they can fly? Let's find out.
Are you gentlemen ready?
Ready.
You both look very adorable. Let's do this. In 3, 2, 1.
And they're off.
They are off.
Pat the red mark, we got
Spencer Gilbert scores first for the blue team.
This is just like a live-action Space Jam, right?
Yes, it is. It's just like we always imagined it
Oh,
would
it
be.
just bounces off. Oh, for
another
loving
miss.
basketball. What a miss. Right to the face. These guys have not been hanging with Mr. Cooper.
And at the buzzer, Mark Ellis evens it up for Team Orange.
Are you gentlemen ready?
Spencer and Mark end their round tied 1-1. It's up to Hal Rudnick and Joe Beretta to decide this event. And they're off. Oh, Hal Rudnick scores early for Clockwork Orange, giving them a 2-1 lead. We're down to the last few seconds. Joe Beretta is setting up to tie at the buzzer. Oh, and he just misses. Clockwork Orange gets the win.
Hal Rudnick dousing himself in water.
The team's celebrating their first victory, but it's far from over.
After one event, the Orange team strikes first for an early 1-0 lead.
We're in the hydration station with our winners. How do you feel?
I feel like I need to hydrate. You can't just get armpit stains, kids. You got to earn those by drinking water every day.
I don't want to get cocky, but woo!
The Ric Flair cheer, folks. They're cocky.
Our next competition comes deep from the recesses of outer space. It's Gravity Movie Trivia. 2 contestants from each team will be asked 10 movie trivia questions while being spun in a centrifuge like Sandra Bullock in Gravity.
Whoever answers the most correctly in the least amount of time will crawl onto the muddy banks of victory. For the blue team, Dan Murrell and Joe Beretta will be competing against Hal Rudnick and Mark Ellis for the orange team.
You know, this challenge is all about brain power, so it's a good thing our contestants had a balanced breakfast.
Typically, I'd agree, but that breakfast may come back up to haunt them.
3, 2, 1. Start the machine. Who played Brian in the Fast and the Furious movies?
Paul Walker?
That is correct. Number 2. What is the last name of Harry Potter's friend Hermione?
Ranger.
What planet was destroyed by the Death Star in Star Wars A New Hope?
Alderaan.
Number 4. Name 4 of the 7 actors to play James Bond in a film.
George Lazenby, Sean Connery, Roger Moore, and Pierce Brosnan.
Number 5. What's the license plate number of the Ghostbusters car in Ghostbusters?
Ecto-1, lock it in.
Yep.
Starting with Tim Burton's Batman and ending with Nolan's trilogy, please list all live-action Batman movies in chronological order.
Batman, Batman Returns, Batman Forever, Batman and Robin, Batman Begins, The Dark Knight, and The Dark Knight Rises.
Yes.
From the Lord of the Rings, Fellowship of the Ring, how many members are in the Fellowship?
Ooh.
Oh, a tough question.
I'd just be guessing.
The number of members in the Fellowship of the Ring. Both teams seem to be having trouble answering this question.
I want to say either 7 or 12.
I think the gravity may be getting to him.
9.
They're thinking, and their brains are rolling around like a washing machine.
Let's go 7.
7, lock it in.
Time, 1 minute, 44 seconds. All right, The results of this challenge are as follows. The blue team scored a perfect 10 out of 10. The orange team has an official score 9 out of 10. Blue team wins.
After 2 events, Blue has it tied up 1-1.
You just won a crazy trivia contest. How do you feel?
Crazy.
It's time for our next event.
Trial by combat.
2 people enter. 1 person gets knocked down on a soft inflatable cushion.
It's a best-of-3 event. Both teams are ready. Let's go check them out.
This event will be as exciting as Game of Thrones, but infinitely easier to understand. 2 contestants will square off in a duel. The first one to fall out of the center ring will feel the shame of loss and be viciously beheaded in front of their loved ones. Or at least be kind of embarrassed. Let's get this event underway before the old gods and the new.
First up, Trisha the Sand Snake Hirschberger versus Brizzy the Red Priestess Voices.
3, 2, 1.
Both teams really excited, and the game is already over. It is a complete knockout.
All right, round 1 goes to Team Orange.
Next up, Spencer, the Kingslayer Gilbert, taking on Hal, Hot Pie Rudnick.
On my mark, in 3, 2, 1. Oh! Victory, blue team.
He waves bye-bye to Hal Rudnick. It all comes down to this. Trial by combat will be decided by Andy the Mountain Signore and Dan the Viper Murrell. Who will take the crown?
3, 2, 1.
It's a game of gravity, and down goes Dan Murrell. He is an instant kill.
Andy using his energy to celebrate when he should probably be conserving it for the next round.
We're 3 events in, and Orange grabs the lead 2-1. You guys just won the Joust Challenge. How did that work out for you?
I just sort of stood there and pushed Dan down.
Did you guys do any pregame watching Cable Guy at all?
Oh, I thought you meant by... Oh, yeah, no, and I should have went to Medieval Times this weekend in preparation.
Ah, Clarice! Clarice!
These are some classic references, folks. References from other movies in another movie.
How do you feel your chances are of taking this whole thing?
You know what? I don't want to get cocky, but woo!
The Ric Flair woo, folks. They're still cocky.
Next up is the Academy Award-winning Crash the Game.
Both teams will climb inside this ball, crash into each other, and try to score a point.
Next up is Crash Ball, a game inspired by the Best Picture winner from 2005. That really doesn't hold up that well. Both teams will attempt to score a point by crashing into each other, moving past their misunderstandings into the goal.
Deepest Bluest, are you ready? Clockwork Orange, are you ready? Yes! Let's go!
It's a battle of balls on the field today.
And Deepest Bluest is defending against...
Oh, big hit!
But Dan is trying to recover, trying to get back on his feet.
And he's making ground. He's almost got it to the goal line. Dan in a really awkward position, trying not to break his GoPro, and he's across the line, and Orange wins! Orange wins, point Orange!
In an unorthodox way to enter the ball.
Deepest Bluest, are you ready?
Despite a rough start, Deepest Bluest keeps Clockwork Orange out of the goal for 45 seconds. In order to win the game, Deepest Bluest must beat that time.
Oh, and just miss.
They go around, they're going for the goal!
Oh, going right. Joe Beretta using his body to roll them past the goal line.
And Deepest Bluest destroys the competition, scoring in just 13 seconds and taking the point.
So, Orange team completed this mission in 45 seconds. However, the blue team did it in 13 seconds, declaring them the winners.
We can all agree that was more exciting than the movie Crash, right?
We are tied up after 4 events with each team at 2 points.
It's a battle of both mind and speed in the Labyrinth. With me now is Jareth to explain the rules.
The contestants will be racing through the labyrinth to bring a baby of my choosing.
I loved you in Zoolander. From the mind of Jim Henson comes our next event, the Labyrinth. Contestants from both teams will race through a labyrinth to find Jareth. They will then need to scour through the maze to bring back the baby that Jareth commands. The first team to retrieve all their babies will win.
On my mark, in 3, 2, 1.
First up in the labyrinth, it's Andy Signore and Trisha Hirschberger, both competitors racing through the maze, trying to find Jareth. And Trisha's through first.
I require an orange baby.
Orange baby.
Hot on her heels is Andy.
Dance, magic dance. Oh, I want
A purple baby.
Both racers now desperately searching the maze. And Trisha is first out with the first orange baby.
Oh, thank you for the baby.
Here's Andy. He has the first purple baby.
He's delivered his
Thank
baby.
you for the baby.
And here comes Trisha with her second baby. She's going back to tagging her teammate.
All right, blue team has 2, orange team has 1.
Andy's back with his second baby, but can the orange team make up the time?
The children.
Joe Beretta is already in the maze as Andy runs back to tag Brizzy Voices.
Let's go, Signore!
Oh, bring me a blue baby.
Who are you?
Brizzy's in the maze, and it looks like Joe's having some difficulty finding his baby. Brizzy's making up a lot of time here.
Orange team's
Hello, this is ground control to you. Pink baby, please.
Joe's coming out with what he thinks is his baby. Brizzy with her first baby.
Thank you. A pink baby, a pink baby. Is this green or gray? Is this blue?
Confusion has taken over the labyrinth. And here comes
This
Brizzy
is a
with her
gray
second
baby.
baby.
Wrong. You're 2 pinks.
It's over. Orange wins.
The orange team finishes the labyrinth and goes into the final round with a 3-2 lead. But that doesn't matter because it's time for the crown jewel of the Geek Games, the event that will decide who wins the whole thing, the Geek Triathlon. This event is worth 2 points, so it's truly anyone's game.
This is it. The main event, the big show, the Geek Triathlon.
Right, we just want some good, clean competition. We don't want anyone to get injured at all.
Our teams are tired. They're stretching out. They're ready to go.
This one is for all of the marbles. First up is the Lost Jungle Maze, where our competitors will be stumbling around blind, much like the writers of the hit TV show Lost in the last few seasons.
Next up, our competitors will be doing the Indiana Jones boulder roll, where they'll have to go through these giant balls down the course wearing a fedora.
The final leg of our triathlon is the Titanic slide.
Team members will go up the slide and come down, drench themselves in a bucket of cold ice water, ring the bell to stop their time.
All 4 members of each team will be competing.
Whichever team finishes in the least amount of time takes home the gold.
All right, blue team, you ready? Orange, you ready? On my mark. 3, 2, 1.
Here we go.
And our first 2 competitors have started the triathlon. It's Dan Murrell and Brizzy Voices. Oh, and they've already collided.
Blue team is
Dan
through.
Murrell
Blue team is
falling.
through.
He's at the wall. Well, she's trying to grab his legs, which is quite dangerous, I assure you.
Murrell's on top. Murrell's on top. Murrell's down. Murrell's first one down.
Oh no! You have the lead! Go fast!
Murrell's losing his lead. He tripped and lost his lead. Brisby's catching up.
Both of them enter the Titanic slide, one behind the other. They are neck and neck.
Neck and neck. Here comes Dan, sliding down. Will Dan get to the water first?
And Dan and Brizzy finish virtually tied.
Orange has got it.
Spencer Gilbert and Hal Reddick start almost simultaneously.
Hal Reddick is attacking Spencer Gilbert.
Both men climbing the wall, over the top, and onto the boulder roll.
Hal Rudnick coming from behind. He's in the ball.
Spencer's in the lead, but not by much. All hell is breaking loose. Spencer does the ice dunk, Hal does the ice dunk, and Andy Signore and Trisha Hirschberger again start almost tied.
This is probably the hardest part of the competition.
Both contestants over the wall and into the boulder roll. They're jostling for position going into the Titanic slide, and Andy dives, almost taking out Trisha to get there first. Signore is ruthless.
Andy comes tumbling down the slide. Trisha's right behind. It is neck and neck. Both of them have dunked themselves, and our final pair is off.
This is it, the very last round. Whoever wins this takes it home. Joe blowing through the court.
Joe is over the wall. Mark is soaked.
This isn't even a competition. Oh my goodness, Joe Beretta is making this course his mistress as he pulls away from Mark Ellis. It's not even close, folks.
Mark is not even in the ball yet.
He's in the Titanic.
Folks, this is a blowout.
Joe crushing the orange team and delivering blue a Geek Games victory.
Mark is,
Bucket is dumped, and the bell is rung.
the bell is rung.
And it's all over, folks. Deepest, bluest, you just took it home. That was intense. You blew him away, man.
Thank you. I found my Zen place, which was my happy place, which happened to be this time in my life before my dad left. Like, it was so good.
Orange, you just lost to the blue team. How did this happen?
You know, when you're blessed with superior genetics and a better diet and a more steady lifestyle that involves less drinking, you're probably going to win. That's who won today, not me.
So the official results are in. The team that won it all goes to Team Blue.
That's it, folks. Team Deepest Bluest celebrates their victory with the Sharks Fin Dance, inspired by LL Cool J's song of the same name. And we call it a day at the first ever Screen Junkies Geek Games.
Well, that's it for this year's Geek Games.
We'll see you next year at the 2016 Geek Games.
I'm John Bailey.
I'm Mike Carlson.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Given that he was endowed with pure randomness, making a cloak actually is not that much of a challenge, probably.
Endowed with pure randomness. Like, that's... Did you just cop out on me?